Indra's majestic court. Indra laughing, looking at the court. Ah! Look at this grand court of Indra. The scent of divine flowers, the melodies of Gandharvas, and the wisdom of great sages, this is true heavenly bliss. Deva 1 smirking. True, my lord. But even in heaven, we hear strange complaints these days. The earth is full of chaos. Indra raising an eyebrow. Chaos. What new trouble do they bring now? Deva 2 laughing. People are debating whether technology is a boon or a curse. They have machines that do their work, but they complain about being lazy. Indra smirking, shaking his head. Haha. Mortals. Give them comfort, they ask for struggle. Give them struggle, they ask for comfort. What else? Deva 3 grinning. They argue over right and wrong on their tiny glowing screens, yet forget the values that hold a society together. Indra mock seriousness. Ah! The great warriors of the comment section. Their arrows are words, their swords are opinions, and their battles are endless. The court erupts in laughter. Suddenly, a soft, rhythmic sound of anklets echoes through the grand hall. The laughter fades. Silence takes over. All eyes turn towards the entrance. Soft footsteps. The jingle of bangles. A breathtaking figure walks in. Indra leaning forward, intrigued. Ah! A beauty is approaching. Let's see if she brings more wisdom or more trouble. The divine Urvashi.
Indra Urvashi, the most enchanting Apsara of Swargaloka, your presence itself is a melody of beauty and grace. What brings you here today? Graceful and respectful, with folded hands, O King of the Devas, true valor is not just in wielding weapons, but in protecting dignity. A warrior's honor lies not in desire but in respect. Beauty is to be admired, not conquered, and a woman's grace is to be cherished, not possessed. Indra, smiling with a majestic tone, well, Arjuna, you have proved your wisdom once again, but tell me, what is the greatest virtue a warrior should uphold when standing before divine beauty? Arjuna, O King of the Devas, one truth remains eternal. A woman's beauty is not just in her form, but in her dignity and purity. The strength of a true warrior lies not in succumbing to attraction, but in upholding respect. A true warrior is the one who masters his mind, not the one who is controlled by his senses.
To Arjuna's private chamber in Swarga. Arjuna sat in his chamber, his mind still echoing the words spoken in the divine court. Honor, duty, and righteousness, these were the pillars of his existence. But tonight, destiny had woven another thread into his path. A presence was approaching, one that carried the fragrance of longing and the weight of unsaid words. The scene shifts to the celestial corridor, where Urvashi walks gracefully toward Arjuna's chamber, her heart racing with emotions she had never known before. Urvashi, the most enchanting Apsara of Swarga, had seen countless warriors, but none like Arjuna. His valor, his humility, his unwavering principles, everything about him had captivated her. And now, the one she had secretly longed for stood under the same celestial sky. Tonight, she would not let fate slip away. Urvashi reaches Arjuna's door. She pauses, her delicate fingers hesitating for a moment before knocking. A gentle breeze carries the scent of celestial flowers, as if the heavens themselves await this moment. Arjuna opens the door, and their eyes meet, an unspoken energy passing between them. Dialogue scene. Urvashi, softly, with a hint of shyness and longing. Maharthi Arjuna. I have heard countless tales of your valor. But today, fate has allowed me to see the man behind the warrior. Arjuna, respectfully, folding his hands in a graceful namaskar. Devi Urvashi. Your presence in my humble abode is a blessing. But tell me, what brings the most divine Apsara of Swarga to this mere warrior's chamber? The celestial chamber glows in golden light as Urvashi steps closer to Arjuna. Urvashi's graceful movements, her eyes shining with longing, her lips slightly parted as she speaks. Urvashi, softly, her voice like a gentle breeze, eyes locked onto Arjuna. Maharthi Arjuna, why do you remain so silent? Arjuna stands still, respectful, his gaze lowered, but his body language firm. He does not encourage nor reject. His silence fuels Urvashi's emotions. Urvashi, her smile deepens, stepping closer, her celestial fragrance filling the air. You are a warrior, but do you not see, Arjuna? There are battles beyond swords and arrows. There are battles of the heart, and you have already won mine. She lifts her delicate fingers, slowly tracing an invisible pattern in the air, her dance-like movements mesmerizing. Urvashi, her voice dips into a whisper, her heart racing, the desire clear in her eyes. The heavens themselves rejoice at this moment. The stars have aligned for us. Have you not felt the pull of destiny, Arjuna? Have you not seen the way my heart longs for you? Urvashi gracefully moves, her hands weaving through the air in an enchanting dance. The golden glow of Swarga flickers around her like fireflies. Urvashi, with boldness, her voice now filled with longing. I have watched great warriors, but none like you. Your valor, your honor, they make you divine. And yet, your silence, your stillness, they drive me mad with desire. She steps even closer now, her warm breath just inches from Arjuna. But Arjuna remains unmoved, his eyes holding a serene but unreadable depth. Urvashi, smiling, tilting her head, her golden bangles jingling as she lifts her hand toward his face, teasingly close but not touching. A warrior may be fearless in battle, but does he fear love, Arjuna? Urvashi, softly, like a secret confession, her eyes pleading yet burning with passion. The heavens have gifted us this night, Arjuna. Will you not embrace the blessing of love? Will you not let yourself be mine? She closes her eyes for a moment, as if surrendering to her own emotions, waiting for his response. But Arjuna does not move. His silence, his calmness like a mountain untouched by the storm makes her heart race even more. Urvashi, smiling with playful frustration, tilting her head, her voice teasing yet desperate. You are unlike any man I have known. Every king, every deva, every warrior bows to me, yet you stand like a saint before me. Why, Arjuna? Why do you deny what even the gods would desire? A heavy silence fills the air. The golden torches flicker. The audience is left holding their breath. What will Arjuna say? Will he surrender to Urvashi? Or is there something deeper in his heart?
The untold story of Brihannala narrative.
The importance of Virata Nagara, showing its vast empire, bustling streets, and grand palace. Why did the Pandavas choose Virata Nagar for their Ajanta Vasa, their year of incognito exile? Visual, a map of Bharatvarsh, highlighting the location of Virata Nagar. Virata Nagar was not just any kingdom. Ruled by the noble and powerful King Virata, it was a prosperous land, known for its security, wealth, and strategic location. The kingdom was surrounded by mountains and dense forests, making it a perfect refuge from prying eyes. Visual, warriors patrolling the city, showing its strong defenses. With its well-guarded borders and loyal subjects, Virata Nagar provided the ideal sanctuary for the Pandavas to remain unnoticed while fulfilling their final year of exile. Pandavas arriving at Virata Nagara. Visual, the Pandavas disguised in different forms, walking towards the grand entrance of Virata's palace, blending in with common people. And so, the Pandavas arrived at Virata Nagar, each assuming a new identity to remain hidden from Duryodhana's spies. Visual, Yudhishthira, disguised as Kanka, a royal advisor, Bhima as Vallabha, the cook, Arjuna as Brihannala, a dance instructor, Nakula and Sahadeva as caretakers of horses and cattle, and Draupadi as Serendri, the queen's maid. With great caution, they entered the court of King Virata, ready to live among strangers, awaiting the right time to reclaim their destiny. Visual, King Virata's grand palace, golden and magnificent, filled with courtiers, warriors, and dancers. Introducing Brihannala. Visual, a mysterious, artistic glimpse of Brihannala, standing gracefully, yet hiding an unspoken truth. But among them, one transformation was the most unique: the mighty warrior Arjuna, now disguised as Brihannala, a dance instructor in the court of Princess Uttara. Visual, Brihannala elegantly moving with the dancers, her expressions filled with grace yet carrying the depth of an untold story. What fate awaited Arjuna in this disguise? How long could a warrior live as a dancer? The answers lay ahead. Cinematic fade out, setting the stage for the next chapter.
In the 13th year of exile, the mighty warrior Arjuna, son of Indra, took refuge in the court of King Virata. Disguised as Brihannala, a graceful and skilled dance teacher, he began a new chapter in his life. Brihannala is shown teaching Bharatanatyam to Princess Uttara. She gracefully moves while Brihannala corrects her posture. Brihannala teaching Uttara. Uttara twirls around with excitement as Brihannala gently guides her steps. Brihannala. Elegance and control, dear princess. Dance is not just movement, it is the rhythm of the soul. Uttara, smiling. Oh Brihannala, you are an extraordinary teacher. I wish I could dance as gracefully as you. A warm moment is shared as Brihandala watches Uttara progress, unaware of the storm approaching the kingdom. Kauravas attack Virata. The scene shifts to the Kauravas planning an attack. The Kauravas, suspecting that the Pandavas were hiding in Virata's kingdom, devised a cunning plan to draw them out. Without King Virata present, they launched a surprise attack on the land. Chaos erupts in the city as messengers rush to inform the prince. In the palace, Uttar Kumara stands proudly before the royal women, boasting of his valor. Uttar Kumara, fear not, noble ladies. If only I had a charioteer, I would single-handedly defeat the Kauravas and protect our land. The women murmur among themselves, uncertain of his abilities. Brihandala stepping forward. Fear not, Prince Uttar Kumara. I shall be your charioteer. The women gasp, unsure of Brihandala's capabilities. Uttar Kumara laughs. You, a mere dance teacher? Very well, let us ride to battle. The battlefield and Arjuna's reveal. As they approach the battlefield, Uttar Kumara's confidence fades upon seeing the vast Kaurava army. Uttar Kumara, trembling. They are too many. I must retreat. He tries to flee. But Brihandala stops him, holding his arm firmly. Brihandala. Enough, prince. You must not fear battle. Allow me to show you my true identity. Brihandala removes the hair ornaments and reveals the warrior within. Brihandala. I am Arjuna, son of Indra. Your kingdom shall not fall today. Uttar Kumara falls to his knees in shock. You the forest Uttar Kumara's realization. Uttar Kumara, stunned, trembling, a great warrior like you, why were you in this position? The mighty Yodha, a Kshatriya disguised in a woman's form. Why, Mahavira? Why did you accept such a life? Arjuna, calm yet intense, Dharma, Prince Uttar Kumara. A warrior does not choose his battles, but he never forgets his duty. Sometimes, fate puts us on an unexpected path, but all in the name of Dharma. A brief pause as Uttar Kumara listens with wide eyes. Arjuna, deep sigh, looking into the distance, and this is because of the curse of a great woman, Uttar Kumara. Scene fades into a divine palace. The celestial dancer Urvashi enters, her mesmerizing beauty unmatched. The scene shifts to the moment where Arjuna refuses her advances, leading to the curse. Urvashi's curse flashback. The screen fades into a golden celestial palace, where Urvashi, the divine Apsara, stands before Arjuna, eyes burning with passion. Urvashi, seductive voice. O Arjuna, mighty warrior, come embrace the love that even the gods desire. Arjuna, bowing respectfully. Divine lady, forgive me, but I see you as my mother. How can I embrace you in such a manner? Urvashi's face darkens, her pride wounded. Urvashi, furious, raising her hand. Then so be it. Urvashi questions Arjuna's words. Steps closer to Arjuna, her eyes filled with disbelief. Urvashi, confused, slightly amused. Mother, what are you saying, Arjuna? I am an Apsara of Swarga. In what relation am I your mother? Arjuna folds his hands with respect, his voice calm yet firm. Arjuna humbly. O celestial maiden, in the great lineage of the Kuru dynasty, you are wedded to the mighty King Pururava, the ancestor of my forefathers. Through that bond, you are like a motherly figure to me. How can I, Arjuna, ever look upon you with desire? I revere you, O divine lady, just as I would my own mother. Urvashi's expression hardens. Her eyes flicker with anger and disbelief. Urvashi, scoffing. You are a fool, Arjuna. I am an Apsara of Swarga, beyond the ties of mortal relations. I belong to no man, nor do I carry the burdens of lineage. You have insulted me with your rejection. Her voice echoes through the celestial halls, her pride wounded. The atmosphere grows tense as Arjuna remains composed, accepting his fate with unwavering dignity. You reject me, Arjuna. I curse you to become Arjuna for 1 year. Arjuna bows his head, accepting his fate with grace. The scene fades back to the battlefield. Thus, what seemed like a curse became a blessing, for it allowed Arjuna to live unnoticed among men, preparing for the battle that would shape destiny. Scene 7, the final battle begins. Arjuna, now in his true form, takes up his Gandiva bow. The battlefield roars with the sound of conch shells as he steps forward. Arjuna, come forth, Kauravas. Today, you shall witness the fury of Pandu's son. The sky darkens, the war drums beat louder, and the legend of Arjuna unfolds once more.
Feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?